Welcome to Ekascloud online courses. Today we are going to discuss about Terraform to authenticate with AWS Cloud. Terraform is an infrastructure as code tool that allows you to define and provision infrastructure resources in a declarative configuration language. When working with AWS in Terraform, you need to authenticate your Terraform configurations to interact with your AWS account. This authentication process typically involves using access keys and public keys provided by AWS. Here is a step-by-step guide on how to authenticate Terraform to work with AWS. Browse provider documentation, copy provider block, paste provider block in configuration file, open AWS management console, generate access key and secret key, replace generated keys in Terraform configuration, save and apply changes. Let's see one by one. Browse provided documentation. First, search https://registry.terraform.io link. Start by browsing the Terraform provider documentation for AWS. This documentation will provide guidance on how to authenticate and configure the AWS provider with your Terraform configuration. Copy provider block. This is the sample provider block which I copied from the Terraform registry. In the provider documentation, you will find a sample provider block that you need to include into your Terraform configuration file. This provider block specifies the AWS provider and include AWS key such as access key and secret key. Paste provider block in configuration file. Open your Terraform configuration file and paste the provider block obtained from the documentation. This block typically includes information such as the AWS region, access key and secret key. Open AWS Management Console. Go to the AWS Management Console in your web browser. Sign into your account and enter username, password. Click sign in. Generate access key and secret key. In the AWS Management Console, navigate to the IAM service, which means access IAM service. From there, go to the users section and select the user for which you want to generate access keys. If you don't have a user yet, create one with appropriate permission. Once you have selected the user, navigate to the security credentials tab under the access key section. Click on create access key. This will generate a new access key and secret key pair. This is the diagrammatic representation of generating access key and secret key. Here you have to click create access key tab to create a new access key and secret key for your AWS account. Replace generated keys in Terraform configuration. After generating the access key and secret key, replace the placeholder values in your Terraform configuration file with a new generated access key and secret key. This ensures that Terraform can authenticate with AWS using the correct credentials. Here I pasted the credentials which I obtained from the AWS account. Save and apply changes. Save the changes to your Terraform configuration file. You can then apply your Terraform configurations using the Terraform apply command. Terraform will use the provided AWS credentials to authenticate and provision resources in your AWS account. Now I'm going to show this in demo. Open your browser. Here search for Terraform registry. Select the first link from Terraform. Go to browser, select providers. Here go to AWS providers. Go to documentation section and scroll down. Search for authentication and configuration. Under this, select this provider block. Copy. Now open Visual Studio Code. Here you have to select provider.tf file. Paste provider block under the Terraform block. Save it. Next step, you have to open your AWS account. Go back to your browser. Open new tab. Search for AWS account. Sign in to your account. Select here and select security credentials. Scroll down. Here you can find access keys. Click on this tab to create new access key. Alternatives to root user access keys. Here mentioned root user access keys are not recommended. We don't recommend that you can create root user access keys because you don't have specified the root access in a permission policy. Continue to create access key. I understand creating a root access key is not a best practice, but I still want to create one. Create new access key. Now access key created successfully. Now copy this access key. Go back to your Visual Studio Code. Paste access key here. Again, copy the secret key and paste it in secret key. Save it. And now I'm going to open my Windows PowerShell. Here, first I'm going to check the version of Terraform. Terraform -- version to check whether it is updated or not. Everything okay. Terraform latest version is installed in my Windows machine. Next, I'm going to enter cd command to open my Terraform project directory. Desktop / Terraform _ projects. I'm entering into my root directory. Here I'm going to list my files in my current folder. Here you can see the provider.tf file. Next step, I'm going to show you how to initialize the project. Terraform init command used to initialize the project. Now installing provider plugins. Successfully installed. Now I'm going to execute the plan. Terraform plan. Wait for the command to execute. Terraform has compared your real infrastructure against your configuration and found no difference. So no changes are needed. Okay, now I'm going to apply the changes. Terraform, apply, enter. Apply completed. It is important to keep your AWS access key secure and follow best practices for managing credentials, such as avoiding hard coding them into your Terraform configuration files and using mechanisms like AWS IAM rows with temporary credentials for production environment. Additionally, consider using tools like AWS Secrets Manager or AWS Systems Manager Parameter Store to securely manage and retrieve sensitive information like access key and secret keys. That's all about the Terraform to authenticate AWS Cloud. Thank you.